Hi, everybody. Welcome back to My Life in Traffic, the Traveling Singer, episode 2. And
Yes.
I have, oh my goodness, I just can't stop smiling. I have Alvin Chea, or also known as Vinny.
That's right.
Good, amazing friend of mine that I've known for literally 20 years.
At least 20 years. At least 20 years.
Not that old.
Yeah.
And the amazing bass in Take 6, but just an all-around wonderful, wonderful human being. And I'm so glad. Thank you so much, Vinny.
Vange, thank you. It's an honor to be here. It's great to be here.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. So much to say. But I remember about a year and a half ago, right before pandemic, you and I got to sing at a live event at
That's right.
Cal Baptist University.
Yeah.
And it was fun because it was an honoring.
Yeah, one of the provosts or the president or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got up there and we got to sing some gospel and oldies, and it was just such a pleasure. And I think
it's very cool.
Smiling as big as possible.
And what's cool about that is, you see people under the mics and it's one type of energy and one kind of muscle. Then you give somebody a mic and give them a stage and say, go. And certain people can make that turn and certain people kind of, but you were gone, I was just like, oh, there she is. All right, let's go.
Yeah, you too.
Let's do it.
Stage, give me an audience. And I'm
yeah. I love it.
That's great. Well, let me talk a little bit about your career.
Okay.
Listen, go to Vinny's website, which I'll share in a little bit. It's mrbaselines.com, and you'll see the whole deal. But what I got here is, first of all, with Take 6, the bass, how many years?
Oh, boy, that's 36 years. 36 years.
What?
My entire adult life, most of my life. So I got with Take 6 at 17. And but we got signed probably when I was 19, and I'm 53 now. So it's my entire adult life. And this is the longest we've been apart in this quarantine. So it's really, really strange. Claude was just here about 20 minutes ago doing something with me. And so we're joined at the hip.
Yeah, I love that guy. Yeah, he's amazing. So, and you guys, I'm kind of veering off already on this, have been such a huge influence on all of us. Literally. I remember, I got to tell you, the first time I heard you really fast, I was riding in a car. I was going to college at APU.
Okay.
You and I are the same age. Okay, so I was about 21.
Okay.
Maybe? And driving in the car, and the only a cappella group that I knew at the time was
Glad.
Group was First Call.
Yeah, right.
And so then I heard you guys, if we ever. So I'm listening to it and I thought, oh wow, First Call sounds great. Like further in the song, and I'm like, this is First Call. Sorry, I love First Call.
Oh, David Maddox, he's the man. Marty, all they're incredible.
But I was thinking, no, this is not them. And so I started digging around and found you guys, and was just blown away. And
Thank you.
Claude's tone. I listened to, all you guys have been with my life too. It's fun.
Thank you. It's been a wonderful run. We've been blessed, and that's the coolest thing about being in this business and being blessed with our career. There's been so many groups that have come and gone. That's one whole circle of blessing. But there's very few other groups. There have been groups that have had meteoric rises, just hit after hit after. They own their own castles and mountains and all the rest. But I've never, I'm so blessed that anytime I say to anybody who's in the industry at all, if they're in music at all, I sing in Take 6, I always get, it's in a universal respect. It's something that is really, really cool. And I love that, God, when we close our eyes, when my kids will be able to say, my dad sang in Take 6, and we'll always get that. Yeah.
That says something that you can say that after 36 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can work together. I'm sure you've had your little skirmishes, but that you
sure.
That's huge. So
legacy.
Big time. The first time I saw you guys was at the Del Mar Fair. Then I was like 25, I think. And it was amazing. And you had the crowd sing with you. And then started doing sessions. And then I knew you when you were kind of singing with the Haven of Rescue.
Yep. That was a little chapter.
And now, you know, anytime I can come see you guys sing, I jump at the chance. You know.
Thank you so much. It's been and a mutual admiration. We're blessed to now have children, and I've done some sessions, of course, with you and your daughters, and it's just, I mean, the amount of musicianship and excellence. It just. In fact, I even auditioned against your son, I believe, for something. Yes. Yeah. So it's just coming in waves. And but anytime you're going anywhere, we got your back. I got your back anytime so congrats on the show. Let's talk about it.
Let's do it. All right, so here's a little bit more about me. He is, we just refer to it, the goldfish tag. So
yeah.
Okay.
Snack that smiles back. Goldfish.
That's awesome. Yep, and my son was prepubescent.
It would have worked for me. The good thing about music, we could have done it together. They got budget.
And then he is the voice of the baby back ribs.
Yes. I would my baby back ribs. That's me.
Buy a house on that one. Okay. So, and then a new show, say it again, Daya Cheese.
Daya cheese, yeah, it's a new product. It's like a vegan cheese or something, and they have a funny commercial that's this guy is eating nachos with his Daya cheese, and he's holding the baby, and he's taking a bite, and baby's looking at him and says, "You want a bite?" And I say, "Yes."
So I cannot wait to see
yeah, it's funny. So it is funny.
Later in the show, I'm gonna splice in a few of these.
Okay, put them in.
Okay, let's dive in. So this last year has been pretty weird.
To say the least, yeah.
So how have you managed, and maybe what have you learned in this?
Oh, man. So, for 35 years, I have enjoyed running around with Take Six all over this planet, been to 64 countries. I have sung for everybody. You name it, we've done it, we've been there. But always in the back of my mind, there was this quiet anxiety. Maybe it's at a 2, not a 10, but just it's there. What happens when this is all over?
Wow.
What happens in life? Not only just the financial thing, but what do you do with all of this creativity? What do you do with your life? You've been gone on the road since 17 years old. And you just put it back. Oh, no, it's just one day. And then the pandemic hit. And I remember I was coming home from a tour. I'd been out and, I got home Friday night, slept good, Saturday night, good, Sunday night, good, Monday night, ding, like 3 a.m, like, oh my God, I might never sing again. I get paid to entertain groups of people. Now there are no more groups of people. And literally, I remember it's like, well, shoot, is there going to be an entertainment industry anymore? It just, what do you do? So, but I am a believer. And if I ever doubted before, I know now that there is a God. He provides the experience of manna. I can testify to, because, at first there were all of these virtual choirs, and you would just to have something to do, you'd sing, and this guy in Korea, and then this guy in Russia, and this guy, and you're singing. Then somebody wants you to do one bass line. It's like, okay, I'll do it for a couple of $100. All right, now the next day free. The next day, well, I got something else, $300. Okay, I'll do that. And it just, one thing led to you kind of put together a week, and then you put together a month. Okay, we did that. Then 2 months, then 3 months. It's been a real blessing. And I've learned, so to your question, what have I learned? To be able to have your passion, your avocation at home. There's nothing like not having to depend on somebody else and their time to work you in to record you, or to be able to produce you, or whatever it is. I can do whatever I need to do right here. To show you really quickly, my DEFCON 6.
Oh, you have a good one.
Oh yeah, that Revelation 2 is a great one there at the end. I have the RCA 44. This is the Beatbox Shure M7. And back there, that's another Revelation. That's my son's workstation. Oh. And then if I ever have to do an old-timey voiceover, I use that the 77. So all of that I can do. And it was a blessing because a lot of session singers, they're great behind the glass. You put it in front of them, they read it down cold, but then you ask them to record and they're, What I was able to, because I've been out with Take 6 for so many years, learn that skill set, but also knew how to read. So I was one of the few guys that could put both of those together, and then just God's blessing, it's come together. So I was stronger than I thought I was, but you are more emotionally fragile. If you think about how bad it could get, you'll freak out, but just faith, God has gotten us through this.
Awesome. Yeah, I agree. That's how I've gotten through it as well. That's wonderful. So outside of your work and having that hang, have there been any hobbies, any non-music thing that all of a sudden you're going, oh, wow, I kind of...
Yeah. Well, I was about to pick up a ukulele, but you said non-music. I started walking and hanging out with my son, and I had just moved to Riverside, and so we bought our forever home, and we told ourselves it was going to take at least 10 years to get it together. But when you're home all day, every day, the house is pretty much ready to go now. A year later. So I know every possible handyman and painter and plumber and electrician in the entire...
Those bistro lights, and you said if you're interested, $5,000.
I could do, and somebody called my bluff on it. I had to go do it. Yeah. So I've learned stuff. We have oranges in the backyard. I had to learn how to pick those, and I can pick oranges. Pick out an orange tree with nothing but the stump. I can recognize the base of an orange tree. I'm like, that's orange.
Okay, that's...
I'm truly Inland Empire now.
Oh yeah, you are. But the smell of those orange trees, especially...
Yes, the blossoms, they're great. And
that's the thing, the gift of time.
Mm-hmm.
All of us run with we're chicken with our
head,
when we're busy.
Mm-hmm.
That's something I've also learned is this last year. First of all, trust.
True.
But also that I don't have to be as busy as I chose to.
Right.
Now, I still...
That's an excellent point. I've never heard it put that way. You choose to be busy.
You do.
You don't have to do all that stuff.
You don't. You really don't. And the thing is, I think I always said yes to everything because I was scared about the next gig, or if I say no, then they're never...
Yeah.
Now I'm kind of looking at it going, I'm at a point in my life, 53.
Mm-hmm.
I know who I am. I know my talent. And I'm going to say yes to what I want to say yes to. No, it's not cocky. It is knowing who you are. It is being confident in who you are and realizing that this contractor or this studio or that artist is not your source. Right. God is your source. And they hire on his good humor. Right. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, God is the source, and there's only one Vangie Gunn, and if you miss out, that's on you.
And on that, there's only one Alvin Chea. Your skill set is so unique. I think we could count maybe 5 guys that could do what you do. I don't even know. In fact, I was saying this the other day because I direct an a cappella group at Cal Baptist.
Yes.
Bass, thank you very much.
Yes.
And, I said recently, I go, man, I hope Vinny never dies because is there another Vinny? Are we going to find him? Where is that teenager right now?
They're out there. Every once in a while. Yeah, but thank you. I know what you're saying, but yeah, I see people that are so talented and so young, but I just try to work really hard and make sure that I represent excellence. Because the thing about it is, once you're on wax, how they used to say it back in the day, you never know who's listening to you. You never know where that influence is going. You can't send out a disclaimer, I wasn't feeling it that day, or I mailed that one in, or they didn't pay me right, or whatever. No, they said, this was you on that? Well, was that you on that? Well,
Right.
So you always do your best.
Always, always, always. That's wonderful. So grab that ukulele. Let's hear it.
I don't know if it's in tune, but I will grab it. This is a baritone one. Oh, I'm sure this is out of tone, but no, I had to oh, it's horribly out of tune. But no, I had to my wife's graduation last year. I sang with my son, I know you belong. So we did the whole Steve Martin duet, and it was adorable. And Dave also plays the ukulele. So I invited him and had him hide his under the table. And my son, Cole, plays the ukulele. So at the end of the thing, it was the three of us. It was dung, 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 and Katie was singing along. So it was great.
Oh, I love it. Oh, that is wonderful. Well, good. What a wonderful thing to have in your back pocket, especially because, you can take it anywhere.
Yes. And after playing the keys, it's nice to be able to express yourself a different way.
How long have you played the keyboard?
To second grade. I played classical piano all the way up. In fact, I won the San Francisco Music Teachers Association piano competition my junior year in high school. Okay. And it was wonderful. And then I went away to boarding school the next year, and I was just like, I've got piano coming out of my ears. Let me try to sing and see what that's like. And fortunately, I could carry a tune. I never knew,
How old were you at that point?
I was, that was 16 going on 17. And the next year I went to Oakwood with the guys.
Oh my goodness. So you've gone through puberty and had your deep voice.
Yeah. And that's the thing, because in the gospel tradition in the Black church, you get soprano, alto, tenors for the gospel choirs. And I couldn't do it. And I just kind of like, well, I'll just never sing that, And later on, I found out about, SATB and SATBB and all that kind of stuff. And I could read it and I could sing it. And then, I wasn't the freak. And so it was great.
Well, so then tell us a quick synopsis, just real quick, of how the guys found you, or how Take Six was even created.
So we were just a campus group. There were so many groups at Oakwood, because it's the one Black Adventist university in the United States. So it's kind of a mecca. Everybody at least does a year. And there's so much talent, it's unbelievable. And so many groups on campus that by the time I got to Oakwood, everybody else who was a bass was already assigned to another group. Yeah. And their tradition is very, very strong. Their music program at the time wasn't very, very strong, but everybody was doing, because it was very, very straight ahead, very legit. And, but everybody who had a love for it had their own outside groups. And so they found me, and Merv invited me to the group. And the three other guys had already graduated, and myself, Dave, and Cedric Dent came in. Okay. And a year later, we were signed to Warner Brothers.
That's so amazing, man. It's just history. It was meant to be. I mean, you look at it. So
it was.
You guys had to come together. You had to be together. There's no.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I could just keep fawning over you guys for this whole. But I'll keep focused. I'm just so thankful, though, that all of you followed your calling and your gut and got together, and you made a difference.
Mm-hmm.
You've influenced writers. I know Andre Crouch used you guys, and I grew up with Andre Crouch, and seeing your active influence as songwriters and
right, yeah,
wonderful, because you took it in a direction that it needed to go.
And that's huge for me. I did 2.5 years. I was upset or tired or thinking of what's next, and I did 2.5 years of law school. Wow. And I was getting ready to be an entertainment lawyer. And this is, after 20 years in the group. And I looked up and I realized, I said, Alvin, you're the top third of the class, but you're not beasting out by any means. You can follow along, but you're not killing it, but what you do in the music world, you're probably the top guy, or if not top 1 or 2 guys on planet Earth. Do that. you know? And I realized, I'm like, Alvin, I didn't like law school, but what I liked was being able to say I was in law school.
Right.
And that's a big difference, you know? But once you're honest with yourself about it, and you're like, okay, you don't like the work, you like the people appreciating that you're doing the work. Yeah. You follow your purpose. Yeah. I was put on this earth to sing bass.
Yes. You know what? That right there, we could just name this "Follow Your Purpose."
Right.
That is a big task of mine as a professor at CBU and a couple other schools. Is don't try to be someone else. Figure out who you are.
Absolutely. That's half of it. That's almost 75% of it.
Oh man. And it takes a while, but
it does.
It's beautiful. Well, I'm glad that you figured it out and stopped being a lawyer.
Yes.
Fun a lot, because we would all been like, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, they go, what are you talking about? You know. So yeah, well, I'm glad you just let that go.
Yes.
A good litigator with your kids and your wife.
Mm-hmm. That's enough. That's enough right there.
Okay. All right. So let's move into your travel a little bit, since this is my life in traffic.
Yes.
Okay. So this might be a hard one.
Okay.
What is your favorite or the best location that you have ever toured to? Now, here's the caveat. It's not, don't talk about where your favorite place to perform.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite place that you got to visit, that you were just looked and went, oh yeah, I could move here in a heartbeat.
That is all day Switzerland.
Really?
Switzerland is the most beautiful country in the world, hands down. There are some places in Norway with by the fjords, and there's some places where just the topography, their changes is always different. But Switzerland looks like a doggone postcard all the time. I have a picture, like when we stopped at a rest stop one time in Switzerland and took a picture, and people swear that it was like a poster. I'm like, it's a bus stop. It was just a bus. It is so gorgeous. Okay. Hands down the most beautiful country in the world.
All right. Yeah, I've never been to Switzerland yet, so I would love that. All right, so now part two. Your favorite venue where to perform in, where you
boy.
Like, or maybe just the crowd or the intimacy.
Yeah.
It can be multiples, whatever.
Man, you got to put Carnegie Hall there just because it's Carnegie Hall. There's just something about walking on that stage, on those boards. It's it really puts things in perspective. You have a career flash every time you perform there. I enjoy Hollywood Bowl. I've enjoyed. We've sung at the in Russia, their main thing. It just ran away from me there at their main place where they do their political structure, the Kremlin. Sung in the Kremlin about 5 times, and it is as far as being beautiful and being just wrap you in this wonderful experience. It is not that. It is hard and cold and all of those things. But what it is this is the seat of the Soviet Union or Russia. And we are here, and it doesn't matter your politics. It doesn't matter your race. It doesn't matter your religion. If you perform with excellence, it will see you in front of the world. The world will stand and applaud for you and give you an opportunity to sing for them. It demands that stage. So that's what that taught me. There's so many. But those are some of them.
I love your spirit.
Thank you.
I love that every question I ask you, you have an answer, but it's bigger.
Mm-hmm.
All the answers are about the heart and the spirit and the soul and the purpose.
Man, yeah.
I read a book.
Yeah, yes. As a matter of fact, I did.
Oh my goodness.
I did. Matter of fact, let me show it to you.
Let's do it.
I've got a couple of them that I've authored. Yeah. Here is Baselines, Alvin Chea. Oh, it's got the shiny.
There you go.
Yeah, holding the thing. And then last year, after pursuing this thing for 6 years or 3 years, we finally got this published. I was the one to take the helm on it. The official scores.
Oh man.
Take 6 in there. In fact, you were the very first person to see some of it. So yes, we have bonded on that.
He saved my
No problem. No problem.
Singers and arrangers drool when we see that book.
Yeah.
And, we'll give the links to all of that later.
Yes. Okay.
As well, and I'll put it up in the edits.
Okay.
So, that's wonderful. Good. But you know, even like daily affirmations by Alvin Chea, I think we can buy that too.
Because, you know, I realize that it's all smoke and mirrors. It really is. I mean, I've met some of the most powerful people on the planet, and some of them are so insecure. I've met some of the most wealthy people, and they're always looking for what's next. And this thing goes by really, really quickly. And, you know, and if you don't have a sense of what your purpose is and what you're doing and whose you are and who you serve and all of that and who your source is, you'll never be happy. You'll always want more. You always looking over your shoulder at someone else's portion. Enjoy what God has given you and do your best. And one thing I've learned, if anything else during this pandemic, is how you do anything is how you do everything.
I love that phrase.
How you do anything. And there's so many times that somebody was asking me for something, and it may have been a paid thing. It may have not been a paid thing. It may be a shelf that I'm hanging up here. But if you do it right. If somebody comes behind you, they want to know, oh, this person represented excellence, you know, even if that person is you.
Yes. And you know what? You just ooze that. You emit that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Your voice, your musicality. And when we're together in the sessions, Alvin and I did a handful of movies together, and we're over there and I'm way over here because we're opposite ends of the
right.
But every time there's a beautiful, consistent spirit, and it just comes in all that you do. So it's wonderful.
Thank you so much, Vangie.
How you do anything is how you do everything.
Everything, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. So, okay, so here is something. Can you think of a fun or scary or even a crazy travel story?
Oh, we have been on planes that have been struck by lightning. I've been on planes that have aborted landings. I've been on planes where fights have broken out. I've been on, you name it. I have seen it. I have, you know, it's just, there's so many things. Oh, just one of them. We were going to Israel. The first time we were going to Israel, this was about a week before 9/11. And we were nervous about the Middle East and all that kind of stuff. And we're sitting there, first class, but we're JFK getting ready to take off. All of a sudden, the flight attendants on the left, you know how they're facing you, unbuckle the seat and they go charging to the back of the plane. And we're like, some kid was at the back of the plane kicking, like a teenager was kicking the back of this guy's chair. Just, and the guy figured, I got 8 hours of this ahead of me. You know, just lost it, turned around and just throttled the kid. And we're sitting there. So that happened. Of course, we just felt the skirmish behind him. Next thing ladies and gentlemen, we'll have to return to the bridge. We have it. And a friend of mine was on the phone, called his wife or whatever. And they're saying, there's some incident happening at JFK. He was like, yeah, that's us. This guy just slugged this kid behind us. And we've seen it all. We have seen it all. So yeah, it's just what type of, I've got 5 struck by lightning stories. I've got 2, you know. The only thing we haven't done is we haven't aborted a takeoff, but I've boarded plenty of landings, especially coming into DC.
Yeah, interesting. Weather or just a bunch of things?
Yeah, weather, or somebody wasn't paying attention. I can name the airline because I know what was going on, but I don't want to get them in trouble. Yeah. But yeah, just a lot of different things like that.
Made it safe every single time.
So. Yeah. And we've never missed a concert because of us being late or missing a flight. One time the flight was delayed and we missed a show. But coming from 6 or 7 or 8 different destinations, we've never missed it because of that.
Oh man, that's so fun. Amazing. Yeah, I think I was on a flight once where a kid was bugging.
Yeah.
Instead of turning around, he just kept drinking the whole flight.
Yeah. It gets bad sometimes.
But the funny thing, I was in front of these kids too. They were more like middle school, so they were kind of doing kind of thing. So I stood up at the end of the flight and I turned to them and I go, "What are you guys, 13?" And they both went, "Hmm." And the guy goes, "Why didn't you do that at the beginning of the flight?"
Yeah.
I just told them. It was funny. Yeah, those kids sometimes, but whatever.
Yeah.
You guys have any backstage antics or anything that or maybe someone tried to get in that shouldn't have? I mean, just any kind of backstage stories.
Well, I'll tell you a story from the wings. And this is not for the queasy-hearted people. You got to have a strong constitution. So we were in, I believe it was in someplace like, it was a northern country that bordered right by the Black Sea, that bordered Russia. I can't think of what that was, but I had never eaten duck before. Just before a concert, ordered some duck, and it did not agree with me. So we're on stage for this, it's a TV show, and suddenly, you know how it is when your stomach goes and your upper lip just starts sweating, and this wave of nausea and that salty taste in your mouth. And I was like, the duck. And I looked down at the set list. I'm like, fortunately, we had 2 halves. I was like, I got 2 more songs.
Oh, you're literally singing.
I'm on stage on TV in, North Ireland or something, wherever it was. And I'm generally hamming it up on stage, and the guys noticed that I'm less and less. I barely made it off stage. I sprinted to the bathroom. It just came all out. And the entire intermission, I am in the stalls, just head down in a bucket. I don't know what, it just came and came and came. Finally, second half, this is a TV show. We got to go back on stage. The show must go on. So the promoters figured out that what they would do is get 2 seats in the wings. The promoter was going to sit here as a dear friend of our Kathy Myers, and me. She was sitting there with a towel, and I was sitting there with my mic and a bucket. And the guys were on stage, and I don't know if the audience was thinking about, well, where'd the 6th guy go? They're singing, and they said they would hear me saying, doom, 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 doom. So I would pass the mic, take the bucket. She would pass me the towel, wipe my mouth, pass it back the towel, hand me back the mic, keep singing, doom, doom, doom. I did that for an entire half of a show.
Oh my goodness.
I probably lost it like 5 or 6 times. It was the worst.
I'm going to laugh so hard.
It was the worst. The guys, and of course, they're hearing what's going on, even off mic. They're just hearing me just giving up a lung. And they're trying to sing, Jesus, Jesus, yeah, oh, Jesus. Man, but I gave big points from the guys that night. They're like, dude, you are a pro.
Yeah, welcome any kids who want to go into the music industry.
The show must go on.
Yes, the show must go on.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's a fabulous story.
The worst ever.
So did any of the guys almost lose it from laughing, or were they kind of just scared?
No, they kind of stayed away from me. It's funny when something like that happens, suddenly 5 guys are on one side of the dressing room and you find yourself by yourself. But as soon as I got off stage, they came in, the paramedics rushed in, and they gave me some crazy shot, and it instantly stopped it. I don't know what that was, but I instantly stopped being sick. And then for the rest of the night, and so to this day, I don't mess with duck.
No.
I don't mess with duck at all. Estonia. That's where it was. Estonia. Lordy.
Great story. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're doing better.
Yeah.
And the thing is, because you can sing bass, now this is even getting a little grosser. The acids on your throat didn't really bother.
Gurgle, 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 gurgle. Gave a little extra that day. Yeah, that was horrible. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. That was a bad, rough one.
Oh, that's a good one. So speaking of that, what is your range? How high, how low?
I can get down to about a G. I started at a B flat, 2 octaves, middle C. I don't know whether there's a name for that, sub whatever. Yeah. And then eventually I got the A. Then I got the A flat, and now I'm pretty much can get a G when I need it, and hint at a G flat or an F if I need to.
That is amazing. And then how high can you go?
I could probably, get up to about an E. Above middle C. Yeah. And that's just because I constantly work on that. God has given me that low stuff. It's generally always there. But, in this business, you can't sit home waiting for your super specialized area. You got to make yourself available. So I do stuff in tenor range and baritone range all day if I can. And I
saw your special on the black and white sessions.
Yes.
And
yeah, with Carrie.
And the song you sang was so beautiful. But I remember thinking, wow, this shows off more of your kind of baritone a little bit.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun. And the fun thing about that is it's like one take.
Yeah.
It can be a little intimidating. And then I did something right at the beginning of the quarantine while I was playing piano and singing, and people were like, I didn't know you played. I'm like, I've always played. Nobody asked me to play. So yeah.
It really was.
Thank you.
That's great. So nice big old range, but you got those low notes like we all wish we could. Okay, so of all the places you visited and traveled to, where do you have to, you already said Switzerland, so where do you have to go back to? Where do you say, we can't not go back there?
I love Rome, just because as a believer, I can literally look on one block and I can say the era of Caesar, the era of Mussolini, the era of, it's just right there. There's so much history in every block. And then the going into the Vatican and all of what that is. And it just is you get so much bang for your buck in history by being in Rome and throughout Italy. I love it over there. Not to mention the food. It's great.
Oh, goodness, I know. You guys have performed there, obviously.
So, not the Vatican, but everywhere through Rome and Italy, yes.
That's wonderful. Now, do you have any dates scheduled coming up here?
Actually, yeah, we're starting to get back out there. I take off Monday for Tyler, Texas, and we're part of a Ray Charles review. We only do like 3 or 4 songs, but it's kind of gets us back out there and test the market and the waters. And then I think July we have something, in August we have something. And it's just, that whole assembly line takes so much time to book a date and to get the deposit and to get the word out about it and that kind of thing. So that's like a 3, 4, 5, 6 month lag. Now when you're in the life, you're booked 2 years ahead of it, but after everything clears off, it takes a minute to get it all back up.
Get it. So now, are you vocalizing on a regular basis to make sure?
Every day. Good. Every day. Yeah, I don't do necessarily take 6 stuff. I can fall over backwards and do that after 36 years. But yeah, I sing, I voice over, I work on my craft some kind of way every single day.
And that's the other thing, as singers and as musicians, as instrumentalists, everybody, it's so to continue to hone your craft. So that's
absolutely.
Pandemic is, we're not touring, we're not doing what we do, but if we don't keep this where it's supposed to be when the world
it's and as you age, you don't want to have that truck stop vibrato. You got to control it as a muscle, and working out, eating right, all of that stuff gives you support for your instrument.
Yeah, it's so true. Good job. So you kind of talked about your road that you thought about being an attorney, but what other kind of sacrifices do you think you've made in order to have this type of life?
Definitely, I've lost time at home. you know, and I'm a guy that has been married before. I'm happily married now 15 years. But there are so many events with my kids that I missed, and so many, you know, iconic events that you're just not there for. I was gone when my mom took ill, and then I had to rush back from Brazil, and didn't know when I landed if she was going to be alive. You know, I had a whole thing on my my laptop of raising my son via Skype, and I literally have him from 4 days old when I had to leave all the way up now till 10. So there's a lot, you know. Don't let anybody fool you that that is just all wine and roses. There's sacrifice, and the time has to come from somewhere. But why I think this event, this crazy quarantine, has been such a blessing in a dark, weird way. I've never been home this much, and I'm really enjoying it.
I'd have to agree with that. Yeah, this last year renewed my relationship with my younger two kids, and my son graduate from high school.
Awesome.
He's going to be an aerospace engineer. My goodness.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So it's been wonderful.
Yeah. But even being home, you still have to have your own things that you do with your brain, because nobody wants to be like this all day, all night. You're still here, huh? You can't go sing at a mall, anything, nothing?
Yeah, just, and no, it's gotten to the point where it's like, go on your phone, please.
Right.
iPad, go away, you know. So,
I love you, but
yeah, that's awesome. Well, you know, I'm going to wrap it up here, but I think the last question I want to ask you is, what are your hopes and dreams for the future? I mean, family, career, travel, whatever. What do you hope to do for the next 25 years or so?
Well, starting from a financial position, I want to be able to do what I want to do. You know, I tour if I want to tour, skip a tour if I don't feel like touring. I want to be able to have that freedom, because I've learned in life, options equal happiness. Anytime you got to, it takes all the fun away. Options work at just about everything except for relationships. That one, you got to stick with it. But just to have the freedom to do or not to do is wonderful. It just controls your own destiny. As far as my impact on the world, I want to continue to make good music, and to be able to help other people, and to be able to express myself in a lot of different ways. I love voiceovers. I like doing that. I like the going after the gig. I like getting it, hearing it. I like singing in my praise team at church, and being a good husband and good father, and just enjoying the little intricacies of being me, you know, the silliness, the fun, the deep depth, the superficial nothings, and just being me.
I love it. Yeah, so it sounds like you have your purpose, you know who you are.
Yes. Yes.
Forward, but be grateful for everything that God's given you. And
absolutely. Yeah, thank you. So, and a buddy of mine actually came over last Saturday night and said, you know what, Alvin, what are your goals and what's your purpose? You know, I think, well, because he said your goals can be reached by you. Your purpose does not have to be achieved by you. So if you sign into something that's bigger than you, you'll be achieving your purpose. You can have a goal. I want to drive a Lamborghini. I want to have a house on a hill. Okay, that's your goal. But that's not a purpose. What's your purpose in life? Sometimes you can achieve your purpose and hit your goals, you know, but ascribe to a purpose, sign on to that, and your life will have depth and meaning.
And with that, actually, I'm gonna end it, because
okay.
I want to think on that, and I want everybody watching that to think on this. You guys, this is a fun podcast and video cast, and it's all the fun, great stories. But at the end of it is that find your purpose and keep moving forward. So
yeah.
Alvin Chea, thank you.
Love you, Vange. Thanks so much for this opportunity. I had fun.
I will see you soon, hopefully.
Yes. Yes, under a mic.
Under the mic, that's right. And everybody, stay tuned for all the clips and the links, and really go follow Alvin. He's an amazing singer. Thank you, guys. Goodbye.
Bye-bye, everybody.
I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back. I want my baby back,
Chili's baby back ribs.
I want my baby back,
Chili's baby back ribs.
barbecue sauce. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back. I want my baby back,
Chili's baby back ribs.
I want my baby
Chili's baby back ribs. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. I want my baby back ribs.